Hey guys, just back at you with a little bit of information on how to interpret and step through a few of the questions we're going to be looking at this week in terms of conjugate acid base pairs and what kind of questions you might expect to look at from the different acid theories. So the first kind of question just has to do with like what is the terminology for acids, base, conjugate acids, and conjugate bases. We touched on it briefly in our history lesson, but we didn't really talk a whole lot about it. So here's like a question you might get: identify the acid, the base, the conjugate acid, and the conjugate base. Now, the acid and base usually isn't too bad. Like if you look here, say, oh, HCl, that's my acid, NaOH, that's my base, because I got the hydroxide right there, or the hydroxide there, my hydrogen over there. It does get a little trickier if you look at this one down here. They both have hydrogens. Neither of them has a hydroxide. So what do you do in that case? Well, look at the other side of the equation. Check out over here. What happened? Well, let me rewrite this. I went from H2SO4 and NH3. I went to NH4 plus and HSO4 minus. So this one here went from 2 hydrogens down to 1. This went from 3 hydrogens up to 4. So there was a transfer of hydrogens. This one lost a hydrogen and gave it over there. So remember all the stuff we talked about for acids and bases, whatever's giving away a hydrogen, that's going to be your acid. So if this one's giving away the hydrogen, that's the acid. If this one's accepting the hydrogen, that's going to be our base, even though it doesn't have the hydroxide in it. Now we get to the other side of things, conjugate acids and conjugate bases. So basically what you look at is say, okay, this had a hydrogen in it. This is my acid. Where did its hydrogen go? So if you look on this side over here, here's my chlorine. That hydrogen must have gone over here. And if you look at your base, sodium hydroxide, where did my hydroxide go? It ended up over here as well. So they've combined, they've neutralized. You got H2O and A. You say, well, neither of these are acids or bases, right? Like, it's neutral. You got literal salt water on that side. Now, that is true, but think of what happened. If my hydrogen left, I'm left with chlorine minus, right? Which could theoretically accept hydrogen if I wanted. So where's my Cl minus? Well, it's right here. It's tied up in sodium chloride. So this compound, if you were to put it in something acidic, theoretically could soak up some hydrogens, which makes this a base. It's not a strong base. It's the opposite of our acid. So we call it the conjugate base. It's the base that's left over after our acid has donated its hydrogen away. So if we look at this one here, I've got the SO4, well, technically HSO4, so I'm only giving away one hydrogen. But I got SO4. That's what's going to be left over once the acid has donated its hydrogen. And there it is right there, HSO4 minus. So this would be my conjugate base. So your acid becomes your conjugate base. And the flip side, your base becomes your conjugate acid. And how does that work? How is this an acid if it was originally a base? Well, take a look at it. Now it's got an extra hydrogen on it, right? It's got an extra hydrogen. It could theoretically donate if it wanted to. It could give away that hydrogen and go back to becoming NH3. Now, it's probably a very weak acid. It probably doesn't donate that proton very often, but regardless, it still has acidic properties or the ability to act as an acid. So now we call the opposite of the base our conjugate acid. So here's our base here, which means this is our conjugate acid. Water is an acid in this case. And like, how does that make sense? Well, my hydroxide has soaked up a hydrogen, right? This is hydrogen hydroxide, which means theoretically, I could take that hydrogen off and the water could act like an acid. Now, we know water's not an acid. It's exceptionally weak if you were to consider it an acid. It doesn't donate hydrogens very easily. But if you were to put, something really basic around, the hydrogen from the water could theoretically be donated. And so that makes water a conjugate acid in this case. All right, another kind of question you might want to look at. Complete the equation for the following reaction. Indicate whether the ion or molecule is an acid or a base. and whether the reaction is explained by Arrhenius, Bronsted-Lowry, or both. Here's a pro tip. If it is explained by Arrhenius, then it is also explained by Bronsted-Lowry. Bronsted-Lowry's theory covers everything that Arrhenius's did, plus extra cases. So you'll never have Bronsted-Lowry on its own. It'll either be an Arrhenius theory or it'll be a both theory. So here's what we got. I got HCl plus H2O. What am I going to get here? Well, hydrochloric acid, that should give you a hint, that I'm going to end up with the hydrogen donated. And where does it go? It goes to the water, giving us what we usually refer to in acid-base chemistry as the hydronium ion. There we go. So is the non-water thing here, is this an acid or a base? Well, that is an acid. We know that. And is it an Arrhenius acid or a Bronsted-Lowry acid? So if it is a hydrogen or a hydroxide that is being donated, then it is Arrhenius. And you're good to go. Or actually, sorry, if it's Arrhenius, then it's also Bronsted-Lowry. So technically this is both. This is Arrhenius and Bronsted-Lowry. I just finished saying that. I should probably remember it. Bronsted-Lowry. So that's an Arrhenius and a Bronsted-Lowry acid. HCl works for both. Let's look at our second one here. I've got CO3 2 minus. I got carbonate. Now, there's no hydrogen and there's no hydroxide. So is it going to be an acid or a base? What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the charge. Remember, water is an H plus and an OH minus. If this has a negative charge, what's it going to attract? Negatives attract positives. So this is going to end up as HCO3 minus, because I got rid of one of the negatives. It was at 2 minus, now it's at 1 minus. And what's left after H2O has lost its acid? Or its hydrogen, I guess I should say. Just the hydroxide ion. So carbonate soaks up a hydrogen. That makes it a base. Now, is it an Arrhenius base? Does it have hydrogen or hydroxide in it? No, it doesn't. It's carbonate, it's just CO3. There's no hydrogens, there's no hydroxides, which means it can't be an Arrhenius base. Carbonate is only a Bronsted-Lowry base. And so that's kind of what you would use to tell the difference between those two theories and conjugate acids and conjugate bases and stuff like that. So that, I think, should give you enough information to work through some acid-base questions this week. So if you run into anything else, you know where to find me. You can let me know. Other than that, have a good week, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit.